All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, all right, all right. Let me just share screen. Hopefully it's not laggy or anything. Let me know your quality that you're getting on the stream and if it's all good. Just setting up the share now. And today we are looking at BIDMAS, which is a key component of the IGCSE. Anything that you'll be doing with any kind of algebra, you will need BIDMAS. So I've got this question here. Everyone, have a go as a bit of a starter. If the answer is 4, what could the question be? And see if you can use all of the 4 operations to create the answer 4. Okay, we've got a little timer going. Bit of atmosphere. See if you could use operations. How can you create 4? Okay, another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Oh, where's Mike? Ah, there we go. Yeah, back in the zone. Right, so what are the 4 operations? Message in the chat. What are the 4 operations? One of them you may not be able to do, like a divide sign. That's one giveaway. Or you can use a backslash or a forward slash or something. But 4 operations, we're going to need to be using all of those bonus operations that are like the main 4 that you can think of. You can type it in. What are those operations that we always use? And what do we mean by operations? Okay. Well, we're going to get into it. All right, so BIDMAS. Got some keywords here, which is order, indices, and operations. And for those, your 4 operations, main one, you have addition, you have subtraction, you have multiplication, you have division. And for the bonus ones, you could have had squaring, cubing, even square rooting as well. Okay. Right. We're going to just do a little quick recap on indices. Some don't use it too frequently unless you've gotten into this area of maths yet to some degree, but learning this comes in midway through with looking at the concepts of indices. And you don't just have squaring, you could have cubing, you could have to the power of 4, 5, literally to the power of anything, even to the power of a fraction. I know, sounds crazy. And to the power of minus numbers, and to the power of minus fractions as well, negative fractions. I can hear the steam coming out of ears right now. I know, as if powers aren't enough. Now we have powers of fractions. Yeah, we do. We'll look at that as we go forward, but let's go over this. So powers are written above and to the right of a given number, and they tell us how many times to multiply a number by itself. We're going to look at a few examples here. So 3 squared is the same as saying 3 times 3, which equals 9. So you can say just remove the middle group and say 3 squared equals 9. Okay, what about 7 cubed, or 7 to the power of 3? Same idea. It's 7 times 7 times 7. So because the 3 is there, it lets you know we have to multiply the 7 by itself 3 times. So we have the 7 times by another 7, 2 sevens times in, and another 7, 3 sevens times in together. Now, roots are the opposite of powers. They give us the answer of what a square number would be, okay? Or a number that's to a certain power. So if it's to the power of 3, you could have a cubic root, you could have a fourth root, and the numbers just carry on. Numbers are forever. In any kind of idea that we deal with numbers, they literally are infinite. They go on forever. So the square root of 9 is 3, because if you square root 9, it gives you 3. So that's unpacking or undoing the power of 2, or squaring. So a root unfolds a square and puts it back to what it was before, and the square multiplies it up and by itself to the times that the number is represented on the indices, or we could say the index or power. All of those different words mean the same thing. Right, there we go, cube root. So the cube root, you see, it's got a 3 and then a root sign, which tells you that it has to divide it 3 times to go back to the root as if it was cubed. All right. This may be the first time for some of you wrapping your mind around this, and it may be like, whoa, what's going on? But we'll revisit this, so don't be concerned. And when we're looking at further operations of BIDMAS today, we're not going to go too high in the powers, so it's going to be calm. We're going to knuckle through some of the concepts, the basics, and have a time to practice. So I hope you've got your pen, paper, notepad, eraser, and all that good stuff, so you could interact and put some things down. There'll be some work sections. There'll be, of course, maths games as well, which we know are fun, and we'll be looking at indices and BIDMAS in some gamified ways later on. But let's shoot through. So the answer to this, I'm sure, is yes. We've all made things with Lego. Yes, I know I have. So we start off with lots of pieces all scattered around, all around, sometimes on the floor. Shouldn't be. Talked about that last time. Ninja weapons for parents, or against parents, especially for your feet. And they use a book to make sure we put them together in the right order. Excuse me. So book is in the instructions. You know, Lego comes with instructions. Sometimes these days it comes with instructions on an app, some of them, which is new, but most times in that little booklet they have. So similar in mathematics, you can find yourself given lots of numbers and operations and not really know what to do first. It's a bit like Lego being scattered around and not really having the instructions. It's like, if I want to build this velociraptor or whatever it is, and what part goes where, I can just, muddle around and make some kind of velociraptor, but it won't necessarily look just like the picture on the box without the instructions. So there's an order of how we should put things together. Now, it's tempting to just go from left to right, but this might not be correct. Bum, 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 might not be. Not in every case. Some cases maybe so, but not in every case. And this is why we use BIDMAS. And even calculators use BIDMAS as well, and computers use BIDMAS when it comes to standard operations and calculating. But here's a funny thing. Not all calculators, or most calculators, unless they're really specially fine-tuned, even scientific calculators, they don't always get it right. So we need to know how to use BIDMAS to, in a sense, sometimes teach our calculators what to do in the right order. And for that, we would use brackets to case in or box in what operations we want to be done first. And that brings me to the first one. B is for brackets. Okay, you want to note this down. If you haven't got it noted down, note it down. I is for index or indices. So indices are powers and roots. So indices are powers and the opposite is roots. We will look at inverting BIDMAS going forward at some point pretty soon as well, because you can go one way, but if we want to solve a formula or an equation, we have to reverse it. We'll deal with that as we move forward. Don't worry about it, we'll cover that ground. D is for division, M is for multiplication, A is for addition, S is for subtraction. Okay, so here's a little side note to pay attention to. We do the D and M's and the A and S parts at the same time. So the division and multiplication, because they go together, they're direct opposites, and addition and subtraction, they go together as well, they're direct opposites. But by saying at the same time, we want to prioritize division first, because that's the correct order, hence why we would memorize BIDMAS in that order, because there is a better way to just flow with that and make sure we get those calculations correct and precise. Okay. Right, yeah, here's another one too. Some call it BODMAS. Don't know why. Don't know who thought to change it from BIDMAS to BODMAS. I grew up knowing it as BIDMAS, and then all of a sudden in teaching in schools and policies and things changing, suddenly BODMAS. And I was like, why? Why have they changed the I to an O when it means essentially the same thing? Because the O means order, should put on top, and the I means index, which is a better way related to power as well. You know, it's just one of those things. So BIDMAS and BODMAS, it's the same thing. O just swaps in the place of the indices if you've learned it as BODMAS instead of BIDMAS. Right. So let's go through here. There we go. So just a refresher with nice animations. Do first, do next. First pair, second pair. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay. Whoops. Has my. Okay, it's gonna be a bit wonky, slightly wonky. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Can happen sometimes. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you to our very dynamic moderator, putting some points down for you all to see in the chat. Hope it's going good. Right, keep going. I'm going to share again. Back here. Quick refresher. There we go. Skim. Oh, back. All right. This way. The thing about these animation and all singing, dancing things, you have to tap forward and tap back. Right. So here's an example. May seem like, whoa, this is a lot going on. And, you know, it is a lot going on. 24 times bracket 3 plus 2, close bracket plus 2 minus 5 plus 36, divided by bracket 9 minus 3, close bracket squared. Boom. What is happening to my eyes right now? I know. What is going on? What is going on? But remembering BIDMAS, we can take it piece by piece, dealing with things in their order, and then as we do that, it reduces the complexity and is not as difficult to wrap your mind around. And that's a good thing about maths. You can see a question or a problem in front of you and be like, mind blown, what is happening? Wow. But you can break it down into small pieces. You can deal with things at one part at a time. That's why organization is so key. Understanding, absolutely, that's the foundation. We've got to understand what we're dealing with. We've got to know how to observe the points and know that this idea connects to this type of skill, and this is how we deal with it. But we want to know how to organize it as well. So this is where BIDMAS comes in very useful, because it helps to organize our stages, our steps of thinking. Then we can apply and crack that thing. Let's go. So brackets. We have the 3 plus 2. That's in the first bracket on the left. And we have on the right side, we've got open bracket 9 minus 3, close brackets, and then squared. So dealing with those first, from left to right, we're going to take on the first bracket, which is 3 plus 2, which is 5. So we simply calculate that within the brackets, and then as soon as a solution is calculated inside the brackets, like an answer within an answer, we could then reorder it and write it out as a new problem. And notice the new problem based on the first one is is simpler, isn't it? It's marginally simpler. 9 minus 3 is 6. So we deal with that, and then it comes out of the brackets. Okay, so we unpack the brackets like you would unpack a bag, unpack a suitcase. The square is outside the brackets, so that means it's still attached to this block of information on the right. So we put the 9 minus 3, so solve that as 6, out the bracket, and then the 2 now goes click and slots onto the side of it because it's connected to that idea. Okay. Now, next step, index, brackets, indices. Okay, we're seeing BIDMAS in order right here. So 6 squared, we know squared is a power, which means that it has to times by itself 2 times. So we have 6 times 6, 2 6s times by themselves, which is 36. So then we deal with that, again, unpack that answer, and again, we've dealt with the powers now. So we've done the brackets, we've done the indices, we're simplifying things as we go along. And you'll see as we keep simplifying things step by step by step, eventually that's how we get to the answer. All right. So division and multiplication. Now in BIDMAS, the D's first, so we can process the division first. And where's that happening? We have 36, and we're going to divide it by another 36. Notice it's 24 times 5 plus 2 minus 5 plus 36 divided by 36, because 6 squared is 36. So we're looking at that division. We're going to crack that first. Any number divided by itself is 1. One way to think of dividing is how many times can it fit into the number you're dividing it into. So you have 36, another 36, and it can fit into or divide into 36 only once because it's the same number. So that means 36 divided by 36 is 1. Solved on that point. Now we have a multiplication on the left. The 24 times 5, we got 120. Again, the problem is now becoming simpler and shorter, which is good for our brains and our eyeballs. Addition and subtraction. There we go. So we deal with that. We do 120 plus 2, and then we take away the 5 minus 1. And there you go. You got the answer, 118. That's how you do it in a nutshell. Yes, calculators in disagreement. I touched base upon this a little bit, and that can happen, which is why knowing BIDMAS, we would need to know where we put the brackets. Because look, we can see we've got 4 plus 2 times 3. So if we take it left to right, we've got 4 plus 2, which is 6. And we've got 6 times 3, which is 18. So one calculator says the answer is 18. And the other calculator says, no, that's too silly. The answer is 10. Which one is right? BIDMAS helps. 2 times 3, which is 6. And then we have 6, click, plus 4, 10. So, BIDMAS rules. 10 is the answer. Okay, there we go. Right. Yes, it's true story. True story. Millions of people get BIDMAS wrong. All right, so we're going to go through this order here with these examples. Have a go, and then we're going to go through the steps and just refresh. This is a time for you to practice and have a go yourselves. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right, a few seconds. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. We're going to push through now. All right, so 2 times 3, 6. So that comes down. And then 6 plus 4, 10. Or 4 plus 6, 10. Same idea. Okay, next example. 20 seconds. Okay, a bit more time than 10. 20 seconds. Have a go. Mentally counting, keeping the mind clock right now. All right, have a go. Okay, 10 more seconds. brackets first? I know some of you are thinking, wait a minute, this is a trick question because there's a minus inside the brackets, right? So shouldn't we do divide because it's higher in BIDMAS? No, you do the brackets first. So solve what's in the brackets first, which is 20 minus 5, okay, which is 15. Then you can divide it by 3, which is 5. Okay, next question. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Have a go, have a go. 30 seconds for this one. You can type the answer if you got it. Ten more seconds. And 0. Okay. So dealing with one side, we'll have to deal with the other side too. And then we'll put it either side of the division function next. So we're dealing with the brackets first. That comes down. Then we deal with the other brackets. That comes down. 28 divided by 7, 4. Okay, because 4 times 7 is 28. All right. Now, have a go at these ones here. And I am going to give you 2 minutes. I'm going to start my music timer. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And away we go, starting now. Okay, so if you get through all of those in 2 minutes. Some thinking music. Okay, put your answers in the chat. We've got about 20 seconds left. 2, 1, and 0. Okay, any answers do we have? It doesn't matter if you've not done them all. That's okay. What answers did you get? Feel free to type them in the chat. Okay. Okay, another 5. Alrighty. All right, let's go. So 15, got 6 times 2, and we got to add that to the 3, 15. 6 times 2, 12 plus 3, 15. Okay. Another one here, 10 divided by 2, 5, and 3 times 2, 6, and 5 plus 6. 3 plus 6, 9, times 2, 18. You have to do the brackets first of this one, which is 2 plus 10, which gives us 12, divided, and then we want to times it by 3, and we could divide it by 2. Okay. And this one, we're going to do 6 minus 2, and then times the answer by 4 plus 5, 36. Okay. Right, a few more with powers now. Okay, remembering what powers do, what squaring does. Okay, it's times it by itself, gives you 9. And then it's just 10 minus 9, 1. Sometimes your answers are as easy as that. What about this one? Okay, now we've got power inside. Interesting. We've got brackets. Interesting. So what do we do here? We do the power inside the brackets, okay? Because the brackets, we want to treat that like a question that we have to do first inside of the bigger question. So we do 4 power, okay? 4 times 4, which gives us 16. Divide by 8, which is going to be what? Goes into itself, goes into it twice, okay? So it's just 2 plus 2, 4. Right. Some more advanced ones to look at here. Again, some thinking time. Get your pencils on. Get your pens on. We're going to go in a 3 and a 2 and a 1. Cue that timer. 2 minutes. 2 wonderful minutes of maths. BIDMAS. Actually. If your speedy answers in the chat box, not much time left. Okay, 30 seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and time. Right. No answers in the chat box. No answers in the chat box yet. Another 10 seconds. Just boom your answers in the chat box. From 1 through 4. What have you got? What have you got? All right, we're going to have a go through the solutions. So, number 1, 5 plus 2 and the power. Some may be tempted to say, okay, let's do 5 plus 2, which is going to give us 7, and then we're going to give that power, and then that's going to be 7 times by 7. But no, that is wrong, because we deal with the power first. It's already attached to the 2, so we power 2. Power it up. 2 times 2, 4. Then we plus it by 5, 9. Okay. This one, we want to do the brackets first. We want to do the 4 plus 2, which gives us 6. And then we dealt with the brackets. Then we put that to one side. And then we have the power of 2 against a 3, which will just give us 9. And then we're going to do 6 times 9, 54. Okay. Now with 3, we've got a power inside the brackets attached to the 4. So to deal with the brackets first, we have to process the power 4, which is going to give us 16. We're going to plus the 8 to that, plus the 4 to that, which is going to give us 20. We've dealt with inside the brackets. We have to divide that by 4. 20 divided by 4, 5. Okay. Now we've got a power here. So we zone in for the power. Okay. Okay, we're zoning for the power. 6 times 6, 36. We divide it by the 9. Then we add. Then we add this. There we go. Yes. Good, good, good. All right. Skim through because of time. I'm going to jump through a bit and hopefully get into some more maths games. These are some more complicated ones dealing with fractions as well, which is just another way of saying, or division. You could reverse, you can look at that as a fraction, actually, because divisions and fractions, they operate the same way, looking at what's on the bottom, which we call the denominator. So on the numerator, when we're dealing with more complicated fractions, we don't just have a normal number. In some cases, we can have a sum. We can have an algorithm, and we can deal with that as a calculation. And then it can be divided by another algorithm. When it gets into algebra, it gets a lot more intricate, a lot more complicated than that. But still, we need to use the rules of BIDMAS. Okay. So we can process on the top of the fraction. When we process the bottom of the fraction, and then guess what? That sum on the top turns into a normal number. The sum on the bottom with the power turns into a normal number. We can just then process that as we would another fraction and say, okay, 18 divided by 9 goes into it twice. Okay. This one, interesting, a bit more complicated here, but knowing BIDMAS, we can simplify all of this information. We can simplify it down. Dealing with the brackets first, 3 plus 2 give us 5. We have to power it up to the power of 2. So 5 times 5, 25. We have to add 5 to it. We're going to get 30. And then 2 times 5, 10. 30 divided by 10, 3. Okay? Now, oh, this is the big one. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready? I think you know what's going to happen. I'm going to start that timer. And again, 2 minutes on the clock. Starting now. Let's go. Doing really well, guys. You're thinking hard. You're going through the steps. Stick with it. Say 9, 54, 4, and 7. I can see your messages. Thanks for sending those in. Well done. Past the halfway time. Ten seconds. 10 seconds to post those comments, post those answers. Okay, that is time. Zooming back in. Let's go. Right, so 3, because we have that power to do with first. So we've got 2 squared, which is 4 plus 5. Going to give us 9. And then we need to divide it by the denominator, which is 3. 9 divided by 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9. The answer is 3. Okay, we've got that power on the bottom there, which is 6 squared, 36. But then also we got 3 times 12, which is 36. So it's 36 divided by 36. If it's divided by the same number, it goes into itself 1. So the answer has to be 1. Right, this one, we got 2 plus 1 is 3. So then we have to power up 3 by 2, which is squaring. We're going to get 9 times 2, 18. And then we've got 2 times 3, which is 6. Then we've got 18 divided by 6, which goes in 3 times. Okay. Well done if you got that. Last one is an interesting one, isn't it? Isn't it? We got 6. We've got to take away 4 because dealing with the brackets first. So 6 take away 4 is 2. Then we're going to square that 2, which is going to give us 4. Okay. And then we're going to plus that by the 5. Okay. And then we're going to minus 3, which is 6. And we're going to divide it by 2, which is going to give us 3 again. So we've got 2 3s on the answer. Okay. Well done, guys. Well done. Well done. Yeah, you worked hard with that. Let's see any answers in that. Well done. You got 3. Got all right. Someone thought a 0. Okay, thought a 0 there. Probably for the 36 divided by 36. But the rule of that, any number divided by itself is 1 because it can fit into itself once, only once. Okay, it's like if I have my hand, how many times can I fit my hand into my hand? If it's the same amount, only once. Fits in only once, takes up all of the space. It's like that, but with numbers. So we won't get a 0, we would get a 1 with that. But well done, cracking effort, and great job for getting a 3. Shout out to M, shout out to Elia. Well done. Well done. Right, next we are moving on to maths games time. Oh yes, maths games time. Arguably some's most favorite part of some of the sessions here. So we're going to look at some maths games dealing with BIDMAS. So you could put your pens down, put your pencils down to a degree, maybe. You could do it mentally, sure. Or you can keep your pens and papers and things. But okay, we're going to get there. So it's going to stop the share. And then I'm going to bring up some that's an interesting maths game. So I want to take a vote right now. Here's a vote. Which one do you want to start with? We can do, let me see. We can do BIDMAS maze. That's interesting. BIDMAS maze. Okay, we take a vote. Which one? Maze, a balloon pop BIDMAS game. Okay, balloon pop BIDMAS game, or one that is more standard calculation, which is matching. So we got match, we got balloon pop with a train, which is interesting, and we've got a maze. All right, so let's see which one you want to go for: maze, balloon pop, or the match. Which one? Which one? The one that gets the most votes will go for it. So if you want the maze, type in the maze. The maze is pretty cool. I'm not gonna put anything that is. It's pretty cool, the maze one, actually. But you have to be careful and avoid the robots. Oh no, maze is getting popular. Okay, I've set it up, haven't I? And then the balloon pop one, you want to see that? It's just fun, It's just okay. Right, maze is popular. We're going to go for the maze then. We'll go for the maze. Okay. All right, get ready. It's a little bit interesting. All right, maze or balloon. Yes, share screen. All right, there we go. Here is the maze. Okay, I'll pop it. Right, that's cool. All right, it is loading. Okay, load. Load. Ah, this is a nice one here. BIDMAS maze. Right. All right. Here we go. Okay. So stressful. 14. They want to times 14. That's 28, but they're being guarded by the robots. That's not. Difficulties with buffering. That's over this straight and come back. You're still trying to get my camera back. My gizmos. You see, the robots. They mess with my gadgets. I have to do it again. I mean, I have to do the maze again because that's just not fair, you know. Robots busting my gizmos. Yes, I know. Sorry, 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 being frozen. All right, let's me see what I can do. Back in. We're going to go back into the maze, but we're going to do it right this time. Okay, and hopefully no technical hitches will mess with my gadgets. Make sure things close down. Okay, I'm going to close anything down that is demanding bandwidth. Okay, don't worry, guys. We're going back into the maze. It's okay. It's okay. And together we will defeat the robots, which means we take off their feet. Never saw the maze. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right, share screen. Back to the maze. Share. I think someone said amazing. That's a good pun. Well done. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points for correct punning. Okay. All right, here we go. We go again. All right. This is the same question we did before. We know the answer to this one. We know the answer. It's 28. Touchdown. 28. Nice. Green. All right. Let me know if you can see it. Is it sharing? Oh no, it's glitching again. Okay. Yeah. Speed. I'll see to it. I can see it. You know if you can see it in the chat. Can't see the share. This was not meant to happen. Come on, go back to the maze, please. All right. I'm staying here. You seeing it? Let me know because I've told it to share. Okay. All right. No, apologies. I tell you what. I'm going to do a little bit. I'm going to be a bit tricky here with the camera. I want you to see the maze. So if it's going to do some weird glitchy thing and not show the maze, I'm going to point my camera at the screen and show you the maze. Now line it up and make sure it's a decent enough view for you to see, kind of, at least what it's like. Okay, no. All right. The light on it isn't that great, is it? Okay. Okay, come on. Do we see the maze? Do we see the maze? Okay. No, it's not that great. It's glitching. Oh dear. I can see it on my phone. It's like I'm moving through time and space. I blame the robots. I don't like you, but I blame the robots. It's their fault. They did this. Yes. Okay. Uh, abandoned ship. Abandoned ship. Ah. All right. Okay. It kind of showed up a little bit, but then it stopped. And I'm just being eaten by robots now. So that's just not working out too well. Oh well. Oh well. I'll try a different streaming process next time. I think linking through Zoom may be better. Yeah, demands indeed. We will start maze next time. I promise you, we'll start with the maze. That's great ways to reflect. Is a bit. Stay tuned. Indeed. Background, just so don't. Okay, going over BIDMAS and getting acquainted with the steps and how to do it. And I'll see you next week, same time for the IGCSE. We'll start with the games. We'll get some games done and maybe bring some more in just as an apology because of the technical issues. And we'll have fun doing it too, moving on to the next.